Hi students, it's Mrs. Burkhart and I wanted to give you this short tutorial on how to enhance this really nice photo of Melissa. The first thing that I would do is a little technique to really sharpen the photo without pixelating it. And to do that, you do Command J to duplicate your background layer, and then you go into Filter, Filter, Other, High Pass. And this isn't our object. We're just going to blend this back. I changed the radius to about 5 pixels and then OK. And the really nice effect comes when you blend it back. And I would suggest using overlay. And if you turn the eye on and off, you can see how beautifully crisp the photo has become. Now there's some areas we like really crisp and some areas that we don't. So I would duplicate the background layer again, click back on the background layer and go to Command J again. And now we're going to add a little bit of softening blur for the skin. To do that, we go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And Gaussian Blur is a real general overall blur. And you can bring your radius down just until you see a sort of nice glow on the skin. This is really commonly done by people that work on magazine images, etc. This is giving it that airbrush look on women's skin, etc. So enough so that it looks soft, but not so much that it looks too blurry to be believable. So then you go OK. The next thing that we need to do is add a layer mask to this because we want to block parts of this blur and enhance and leave it in other areas. So I'll click down here and add a layer mask. If we turn this off, you can see you still have that beautiful crispness. So now I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to get a black brush and I'm going to just start painting out the parts I don't want blurry. I can use my right bracket to enlarge my brush. I'm at 100% opacity. Actually, I'm going to cut that back to about half and then start clicking over the eyes, because one area that you want to make sure that you have in total sharp focus are the eyes, because that's the focus of your photo and what's making an emotional contact with your viewer. Next, I would probably go back up to about 100% and get the front edge of the fabric. I'd probably go back and reduce it, get a really big brush, and just hit the edge a little more so that it fades out. The larger the brush, the more gradual the fading effect is. If you think you made it too crisp, you can switch back to white and just touch it up a little bit. This is looking quite nice. Now I'd probably go down even more to a really faint, and I'd start with my black, and I'd black just a little bit to bring some crispness to the face, maybe in through the nose. And if we turn this layer on and off, you can see the before and after. You still have an awful lot of clarity in the eyes and in the fabric, but the skin tones are a lot softer. I'm going to go ahead and just make the area around the eye a little bigger so that it sort of softly and slowly goes to soft blur. And I think that looks pretty good. The next thing that I like to do on a color image is go to the uppermost layer, layer 1, and then click your adjustment layer and select black and white. Now we're not making a black and white image. You can use the default settings, but if you blend back a black and white image over a color image and just start with soft lighter overlay, you can see you get this much higher contrast image that's really quite beautiful. If you turn this on and off, look at the difference between before and after, much more dramatic. And I'm really starting to like this image. I think though that overall it's a little too warm. So the last thing that I'm going to do just to set her face apart from the fabric is to go in again to my adjustment layers and pick photo filter. And I'm going to go down and maybe a cyan, which is sort of a turquoise color, which seems sort of weird to put on it, but trust me, go down a little on the density. We can play with this later and tweak it if that color's not quite right. Click OK. And then the next thing is to block all the fabric. So let's go back up to 100%, make our brush a little smaller, and simply paint all of the fabric. There, now if you look over here, you can see that that's, and you're already blocked on your layer mask. And if you turn this on and off, you can see now the skin is a little cooler, but I'm not sure that that's 100% what I like. So I'm going back in, and I think I'm going to try a violet. Now that's better. We have a warm tone that's not yellow. We've warmed up her skin in a really nice way. And if I turn this eyeball on and off, you can see here it looks sort of yellow and merges too much with the tones of the scarf. If I click here, there's beautiful contrast. I think I'd leave the blue up there. That doesn't really bother me. If I really wanted to, I could change its color, but right now I'm pretty happy with this image, so I would go ahead and save it as a JPEG and turn it in. Thanks so much for watching, and join me again in the next tutorial.